You're in the rant wormhole where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by becoming one of those. This one is from Magus the Outrageous, who wants me to rant about Nobuyuki Fukumoto. I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't read any of his manga. I have seen the anime for Kaiji up through the first season and the first, 4 or 5 episodes of Akagi. And, Fukumoto style, if you are not aware of him, he's known for his really bizarre character designs with super big angular noses and his intense, crazy narratives that are generally, and he's written a variety of manga, and again, I haven't read most of it. I know about a lot of it because I went to a panel about Fukumoto at a convention once, so I'm abreast of what his stories are all about. But generally, his best known ones are about games where the participants are playing high-stakes psychological mind games with one another, and the loser usually has their life on the line, or at least a life or a limb, or servitude to some kind of yakuza. They're always taking place in these dark, seedy, gangster underbellies of the world, where pathetic people driven into the corner are forced to compete for survival, kind of thing. At least Kaiji is very much about that. And it's fucking awesome. If you haven't seen Kaiji, you should, because I don't think anybody wouldn't like it. I've never met somebody who's seen it and didn't like it. I've never seen really negative opinions of it. It's a super nail-biting thrill ride. You're in the best position to watch it because it's not airing, because trying to watch it and stop at any point is very difficult. Kaiji is so tense, and you just constantly need to know what's happening next. When me and my friend marathoned the first season, we did so in a night, basically, because we were just I need to know what's gonna happen to these guys, It can be dark, it can be sad, it can be touching and moving, it can be very hype, very gruesome at times, when things go horribly wrong for people, and very inventive in how it comes up with all these crazy made-up games that have some basis in a real-life game usually, but with a crazy psychological twist that enhances the tactical element of the game. And, watching these big personalities bounce off of each other and try to trick one another into making the wrong move is always exciting. Then you've got, Akagi, which is similar, except it's all Mahjong. Now, I don't know how to play Mahjong, so Akagi has a little bit more of a wall for me. And whereas Saki, which is also a Mahjong anime, you could pretty much watch Saki without knowing shit about Mahjong, because they explain most of what you need to know, and, it's more about the visuals and the characters and their personalities. Akagi is similar. You could watch it without knowing anything about Mahjong, but it's just a little bit harder to tell what the fuck is going on, because it's a little bit more technical and realistic. It's not a bunch of people with superpowers doing crazy super moves with Mahjong, But it's about this fucking kid who literally at the start of the series, when he's 13, crawls out of a lake having just won a game of chicken where he drove his fucking car or bike or whatever it was off the cliff, survived, and then comes out to play a life or death game of Mahjong with a bunch of gangsters, There's one scene where he plays Russian roulette with 5 bullets in the chamber. It's fucking nuts. And Fukumoto is also known for his crazy visual metaphor, where the intense pressure of a scenario will be represented by a character up on a cross getting fucking stabbed at by people and stuff. And I believe there's an entire volume of Akagi where one of the characters metaphorically goes to hell and has to fight their way out of hell, and that's a whole volume. The metaphors can get crazy with how long they'll go on for. It's also famous for all of its sound effects. It's just Fukumoto is one of those creators who has such a personal stamp on everything he makes. It is so unlike anything else, because even though, sure, there are other psychological mind game anime, you could compare it to maybe something like Death Note, which I think I did a video about how these two compare in one of these other rant vlogs, but it's just that his his things, like between the art style, the metaphors, the sound effects, the wacky games, the psychological aspect of it, it's like you really won't get this experience anywhere else. And his manga have enough variety that you could read them all and not feel like you're reading the same thing over and over again, even though it's so definitively Fukumoto style, you know, which I think is the mark of a great artist. I think he's definitely, you know, gotten a lot of recognition as one of the best manga authors around. He's never going to be the most popular just because his art style is so fucking weird and generally ugly, but it's ugly on purpose, you know. Maybe not on purpose, but the ugliness contributes to it. It is not, it doesn't hamper the kind of story that it is, you know. So if you haven't seen Kaiji, again, highly recommended. There's two 25-episode seasons. You can blow through them very quickly because it's so easy to watch. And if you like Mahjong, Akagi as well, which only had, I think, a 25-episode anime, and then the manga is, I think it might have ended recently, don't quote me on that, but it was going on for a really fucking long time. And there's also a ton of other manga by him that are very beloved. You should look into it. If you watch those shows and you get into him, look into the rest of his work. He's very beloved amongst manga fans. Also, the ending theme of Akagi by Maximum the Hormone, phenomenal song, and the opening theme and ending theme of Kaiji are both phenomenal songs. So, you know, those two. Oh yeah, Kaiji Season 2, I think one of its OPs is by Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Madhouse. The taste in music is always on point. And they did both those shows, so yeah. Cool shit.